y'all. So this video I'm gonna reacting to MrBeast has taken it too far or something like that. I've never reacted to this page before, so I'm gonna link the video in the description. I'm in my car because I didn't have time to be at home and do the videos, but I was like, damn, I need to really get back on my shit. I used to download like 3 to 4 videos every few days, and I've just been kind of slacking, so fuck it, we're gonna do it in the middle of errands. Anyways, I think this is in reference to his last video, which is the solitary confinement shit for like 7 days and seeing how that mentally affects him. Yeah, I think he's starting to get bored. I don't know. It just seems like he's doing a lot of wild shit for like videos. And I feel like, I don't know, when you have that amount of money, I feel like shit just starts to get boring. When you've already bought everything you want, whenever, where you want to go, you can just give it out. I feel like you get bored. So, I don't know. Anyways, we gonna get into it though. I fuck with MrBeast though. For real.
7 days in solitary confinement. I kind of feel like an animal right now. Like, I feel like I lost all my rights as a human.
Well, guys, I had a feeling we'd be back. Now, I don't want to be that guy who comes on here and says, looky here, I told you so, but, well, I told you so. About 2 weeks ago, I made a video expressing a concern I had about how I think that MrBeast videos are getting a bit too extreme. I said I feel like we are nearing the limit of what I feel like you can really ethically do here on YouTube, and that his videos are starting to resemble human testing more than they are YouTube content. Now, obviously, there was a whole lot more said than that, but that's basically the short of it. A lot of you guys agreed with me, a lot of you guys didn't, a lot of you guys were in the middle. But for the most part, it seemed like most people were in agreement, whether they supported it or not, that MrBeast videos were getting kind of extreme. In the video, I said this. I feel like this kind
like, I don't know if it's for shock value, because he does a lot of good videos still, like that dog adoption one, or the, like, he'll feed children and give them water and stuff like that. But I do, like I said, think that some of them are getting kind of weird. But it's like, I don't know, because he'll put these people in like weird or like, you know, mentally taxing positions, but then he'll give them like $500,000 at the end, or like $300,000. Like it'll be like, damn, like it's like a cash reward. And I know motherfuckers in jail that have to do the same shit, get treated like shit for free, and don't get, you feel me? They not in that type of, they don't get anything out of it except for usually trauma. And usually, I'm not talking about the mofos that deserve to be in there. I'm talking about mofos that might have got caught with like marijuana or something, and just a little bit and stuff, and they serving like time. And it's like, damn, like, bruh, like, you feel me? But I don't know.
Kind of video where you have another person there, you're allowed to do certain things, you see other people relatively frequently, is probably where we have to draw the line, right? Because if not, what's next? 10 days in solitary confinement? 5 days in a sensory deprivation room? I mean, where do you guys think this becomes unethical? And today, MrBeast uploaded a video titled, I spent 7 days in solitary confinement, where he does just that. I had a completely different video planned out for—
But I will say, at least he's putting himself through it than, you know, some other people, kind of.
For today, but I kept getting comment notifications on that MrBeast video I made, all of them referencing this recent upload. So I checked it out, and well, here we are. So today, I kind of want to revisit this topic, talk about some of the stuff that people mentioned in the comments of that last video, talk of what I think about this video, and then talk about what I think this kind of content has done and is doing to YouTube as a whole. So before we get into the actual video itself, I'd like to address maybe the most controversial thing I said in that video. Not really. The days of the $1 to $2 per 1,000 views estimate being accurate is far behind us, and they are. Unless you're making like short form gaming content, nobody is making just $1 to $2 per 1,000 views anymore. They're not. Now, I based my estimate off of MrBeast making about $10 per 1,000 views, and looking back, that might have been a little bit high, but a lot of people were saying that the $8 to $20 range I quoted was insane, and
I mean, that's way better than I used to get paid off of Instagram, and it was like a half a cent per 1 view. And I would just be like, bro, so there would be like videos I was getting like, you know, I got like 50,000 views on it. I wouldn't make over $100 on that, because as soon as you hit $100, it's like easy to get to $100. You can get like, I think like what, 1,000, 10,000 views? I don't remember. Anyways, it's easy to get to $100. As soon as you get to 100, it's like half a cent per 100 views. And I'm like, bro, like, y'all really just don't want motherfuckers to really make that much money off the shit. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
It's just not.
The most you can make off of Instagram, I think, is $1,200 a month. And that was for like 1 million, like 11 million views or something like it. It's just,
do I know what I make on YouTube. I also hear on average because of their niche. Now, MrBeast is gonna have a lower base RPM from ad revenue than some other channels because his channel is so big, it reaches so many people that a large part of his audience is outside of the United States, and ad revenue from countries outside of the United States just pays less. That's just the facts. So if I were to estimate it again, I would probably say that MrBeast makes like $5 to $6 per 1,000 views just from his ad revenue alone. But that's not really what I was saying. A lot of people don't take this into account because the way YouTube does it is kind of silly. But RPM is not just how much you make per 1,000 views, it combines a few other things. One of those things being how much money you make from channel memberships. MrBeast has 223 million subscribers. I would not be surprised if 1 million of those people are channel members. That's less than 0.5% of his audience, and at $5 a month after YouTube's cut, that's about an extra $30 million per year from memberships. So is estimating a $10 RPM for MrBeast probably a little bit high? Yeah, I'll admit that, but I don't think it's that far off. And for most US-based creators, $8 to $20 is really not that insane. You've got to keep in mind stuff has gone up quite a bit since YouTube banned ad blockers and, you know, inflation. Over the last 6 to 8 months, YouTube RPM has jumped pretty drastically. Or maybe I just got really lucky. I don't know. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to spend so much time on that, but a lot of people commented on that. It was like the top comment on that video. And I just wanted to address that first before we got into the actual video today. We get to address real quick before we get into the
Y'all, since I'm in my car, I don't have my ring light, which usually holds my phone. That's why the new
video. This is probably the most common thing I saw going against my argument, and it's the sentiment that these people could leave whenever and they were compensated, and that makes what they're doing okay. When it comes to some of MrBeast's videos, I would agree with this. When it comes to the silly stuff that's basically like lotteries and giveaways where you have to do kind of crazy stuff to try and win these things, I can understand that argument. Gambling is in the human nature. We like risk. People play the lottery in hopes of winning life-changing money, and most of the time nobody wins it. You know you're not guaranteed anything, but it's fun to try. If it's that kind of MrBeast video, not that big of a deal, right? These videos are not that. Let me try and construct my thinking here with a bit of a thought experiment, I guess. Let's say I had $1 million burning a hole in my pocket and I wanted to give it away. If I offered you a 1 in 1,000 chance to win the money if you could successfully fight a crocodile, would you go for it? I feel like most people would say no. Why? Well, because it's only a 1 in 1,000 chance. Even if you do beat the crocodile, you're probably not going to get the money. Chances are you're not going to beat the crocodile and you're going to die, but even if you do beat it, you're likely going to come out with some lifelong injuries, permanent changes to you that you can never get rid of. It's just not worth it. However, if I guaranteed you the money, if you could beat the crocodile, I bet a lot more people would be willing to try. This is how I view these videos. Now, obviously, the crocodile example is a bit extreme. I'm not really trying to compare the two, but 100 days of isolation is not good for you. Isolating yourself in a grocery store is not good for you. Spending 7 days in solitary confinement is not good.
I would like a follow-up on their like genuine experiences and if they feel like it mentally changed them in any way.
Good for you. It's things these people would never ever do if they were not offered this kind of money. Sure, they don't have to do it. Sure, they can opt out, but why would they? What's a little bodily harm for hundreds of thousands of dollars? If you offer your friend $10,000,
you might not make in like 5 to 7 years, depending on your job. 3 months for $500,000 or $250,000, that's crazy.
$1,000 to run across a highway and they get hit. Are your hands clean? Sure, they didn't have to do it. Nobody forced them to run across the highway, but why were they doing it? Why did they suddenly choose to run across the highway? Just because these people don't have to do it, you can see us creating for these people, and I think that's pretty fair. So, with that being said, what does this new video mean? I honestly think it means that we are not too far away from seeing MrBeast put somebody into solitary confinement or a sensory...
No, I don't think he would do it again. He did it with himself. I don't really think he would. But I do think he is kind of pushing it. He's getting close to like it being like weird, but
deprivation room and calling it YouTube content. I think we have gone too far. To me, this is no longer really YouTube content. This is human testing. A while back, Vsauce made a video pretty similar to this in a much more scientific fashion. I think it was 3 days he spent completely isolated in a room like this. No sort of communication or interaction whatsoever. If you haven't seen that video, I would highly recommend you give it a watch. I think MrBeast tried to emulate a lot from that video, which is something we're going to get into a little bit more later. Spoiler alert, I'm not sure if I really believe believe this video is real, but Vsauce's video was very obviously presented as a scientific experiment. It was not like a YouTube challenge.
What y'all think? Y'all think it's real?
It was an experiment. Scientists were involved, doctors were involved. The risks were made very clear. MrBeast's video, I don't know if I can really say the same. Yes, they said they had a doctor. Yes, they talked about some of the stuff that could happen, but in my opinion,
I had to move. But anyways, y'all, I tried the freeze-dried candy. First time, they're pretty good. Not as good as everybody was making them like they was like the best thing on earth, but they pretty good. But anyway.
Music and him saying stuff like he hopes he doesn't go insane. I don't know, just to me, some questionable choices were made. One thing I can appreciate, though, is that MrBeast did it. He's the one in solitary confinement. He is the one testing the waters. Now, whether or not he actually did this, I'm not going to go too far into during this video. Channels that are starting to emulate MrBeast's style of content. Like, seriously, I feel like if you tried to release a video of this style maybe 5 years ago, it would not be received very well. I think what's happened is over the last 3 or 4 years, MrBeast has slowly made every single consecutive upload more and more extreme, to the point where we're at now, where nobody's even really questioning what's going on. I mean, seriously, this guy's last 3 uploads have all been about him putting somebody or multiple people into some form of isolation. It's just not normal. And I think it sets a pretty dangerous precedent for YouTube going forward. The top dog on
I just don't feel like anybody else can get away with it. I don't know.
On YouTube, the most subscribed, the most popular, however you want to put it, has historically always been a game of personality. Whether that means having a good one or a bad one, generally the reason people got to the top spot of YouTube was because people liked them, or liked hating on them. I mean, seriously, think back to who used to be the most subscribed people on YouTube. Smosh, Fred, Ray William Johnson, Ryan Higa.
You see, this must be the Caucasian side of YouTube, because who in the hell are any of these people he just named? I don't know none of them, and he's talking about they the biggest mofos on the platform. Nah. I know I'm Dante, DDG, Your Phrase, JMP, Deshay. Like, I don't know none of them mofos he just said. Smosh. Bitch.
PewDiePie. All of these people just had personalities that people seem to gravitate towards. These days, I don't think that's enough
what the fuck is all of this? His stomach hurt.
Be a top dog. Now look, I'm really not trying to be mean when I say this. I feel like it's gonna come across as rude. That's not my intention, but I don't feel like MrBeast really has much of a personality at all. I think it's obvious that the reason he's at where he's at is because of the kind of content he makes. Now, am I saying that it's a bad thing for your content to be the main draw for people watching you? No. Do I think it's bad for your main draw to be having big, high-budget videos? No as well. I've seen a lot of people go against sentiments like mine by saying people like me don't like MrBeast because his videos are sort of corporate, they're not really personal, and they have these huge, large budgets that most YouTubers can't attain. That's not my issue. Videos of that nature, of that niche, have been around forever, and they've pretty much always been the most popular videos on YouTube. I mean, just think Dude Perfect like 10 years ago. My problem with MrBeast, and what I feel like he might be inadvertently encouraging, is saying that that is the responsibility or even the worry of channels like MrBeast, but it is something that I think that people like me and you, people who use YouTube, should be keeping in mind. A clear majority of the people who use this website have agreed that the kind of content that's going to dominate YouTube for at least the time being is content that pushes the limits and is as extreme as possible for no other reason than to be YouTube content. And I think we're at our limit. I don't know how much further we can really go past this before video is spend X amount of time in solitary confinement and win X amount of money. We have officially reached the point of just full-out monetizable human testing. A lot of people in my last video thought I was kind of overreacting, saying it makes good content, that it's obviously nothing sinister, it's just YouTube. I guess the last question I'll pose is if this being on YouTube makes it any better. If anything, I really think it makes it worse, because MrBeast gets to make money off of it. Would you find it perfectly okay if some random...
I didn't watch the video. Did it look like it was real, or did it look like it was fake?
Random guy ran an experiment where he put 2 people into a room alone for 100 days and offered them money if they survived while he surveyed them with cameras the entire time, and they got no privacy whatsoever? I feel like most people would call that kind of weird, but because MrBeast is doing it, it's content. Same thing if a government was doing it. Would you like that? I don't know. I feel like MrBeast is in this weird limbo where he gets a lot of...
He's definitely making good points.
...of hate for the wrong things, but he also gets a lot of slack for the wrong things too.
I agree with that too, because he was getting hate for the whole thing with like feeding or giving clean drinking water to kids in Africa. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that? Like, you know, like, who cares? Like, that's great. What the fuck? But I see where he comes from. Because certain things be a little, like, ooh, iffy, like. And I don't feel like really people give a fuck about that. But it's like when he doing shit. Because people be like, well, he's doing it on camera. He used to make money off of it and shit.
I don't know. I guess it evens out. Well, guys, what do you think? Am I still overreacting?
No, I really do actually agree with most of what he said. To be honest, I'm gonna end it here, but I do agree with a lot of what he said. I guess we'll just have to see what the next MrBeast video is, because they are getting progressively kind of but even like, I'm not gonna say like that one where he like was destroying cars in that thing. It was weird, but I don't know. Anyways, y'all like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. I'll see y'all in the next one.